Let me pick a card for you. Okay. So what would you have Kesha know today? Let me just pick a card of the highest and best for you today. Okay.
Oh, shit. Thank you so much for coming to Kesha and the Creepies today. I have such a special guest, Gabby Bernstein. I'm so thrilled to talk to you. I can't even tell you. I couldn't sleep last night.
Right back at you, baby. I slept fine, but I'm thrilled to talk to you. Well, yeah, I'm a bragger about my sleep. I'm sleeping these days, but I'm so psyched to be here.
In reading about you talking about your spirit guides and archangels, it was really interesting to me because I was like, how do you tell between a spirit guide and your higher consciousness or God or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah,
how do you tell the difference?
Here's the difference. Okay. So we all have the voice of higher self, inner wisdom, intuition. Call it intuition for the sake of the newcomer. But we actually really lower the volume on that inner wisdom because of all the fear-based conditioning that we've grown to believe in. And that's typically fear is the first thought we hear and the loudest. So in the undoing of that fear, we can do all kinds of practices, but if you're on a spiritual path, there's a beautiful way of interpreting that adjustment. And that is that spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, the voice of a presence of spiritual connection, God, you can call it the universe. I don't care what you call it, grandma, whoever you want to talk to, is there. The role of that spirit, that loving spirit that's there to guide you, is to bridge your thoughts from the fear back to love. So to be a bridge, a guide, to lead you towards what is of the highest and best, what is of the highest good for all. So this voice that came to you, while it might have been scary, did it have a loving message?
Absolutely. And was funny, which is something you spoke about too, was having, I think you used the word fun or joy, like do things that bring you joy. And I also have been kind of conditioned that you have to be in like pain to really get well, the good stuff.
This guide was coming to you to remind you to have some fun. And the work that the guide would do would be to be that bridge to, whether it's audibly speaking to you, or in some cases, like in mine, dragging you to the register with the book, or sometimes it's not such a direct intervention, but it could be getting the inspiration to listen to this podcast. And now you're listening and you're like, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
You start to learn to trust and acknowledge that intuitive nature, whether it be through a direct connection or a spurt of inspiration. That's when we start to live a guided life. That's when we start to be led. And to your point, earlier you asked me if I was scared when things are busy and about to pop or whatever, and a little bit of anxiety, but mainly no, because I'm trusting in that guidance.
I'm really curious about how one can connect more with their spirit guides. Is there like a right way, or is it just kind of you pray, you hope, you talk to the universe?
Well, we all have guides. We just have turned off the volume and we've disconnected from the frequency. So let me just unpack that in a very simplified way. So through all of the fear-based stories and belief systems that we've built up almost a wall that blocks us from this other realm of support that is available to us. And as we start to dismantle that wall, whether it be through personal growth practices or meditative practices or prayer practices or a spiritual path or a deep healing of some kind, we begin to, one thing happens on a biological level is that we start to regulate our nervous system. We start to become more at peace, more at ease, more relaxed, where we can actually start to hear a greater voice of intuition because we're not pushing past it. And two, we change our energy. So that's when I was saying frequency. We change our energy. Our energy becomes, it starts to literally vibrate at a different frequency. And so we become a match for that spiritual intervention or that guidance. So if you are someone listening, you're like, yes, I want to connect to my guides. The most beautiful pathway to connection is through grounding yourself, grounding your own energy, grounding your nervous system through meditative practices, through breath work, whatever your spiritual practice of choice may be. And then in that place, you can ask. It's about asking. So I often tell people to ask for a sign. In my books, I've talked a lot about my book, The Universe Has Your Back. I talk about asking for an owl. In my book, Super Attractor, I talk about asking for a lily. I mean, like these signs come in the most aggressive ways sometimes. Like sometimes they're like billboards. And
that'd be so exciting. That sounds exciting.
Fun. And so, what would be your sign? Just don't think, just say anything right now, like anything.
I did this earlier. I was talking to Francis, who's on the call. I was thinking like a star and crescent moon. I don't know why.
Star and crescent moon together. Okay. So they have to be together. That's a good one, because then you're going to really know it when you see it. Okay. So star and crescent moon together. So pretty much we can just say a prayer right now. Thank you, guides of the highest truth and compassion, for revealing to Kesha this star and crescent moon as a recognition of your guidance.
I'm excited.
We put it out there, baby.
Now I can't stop looking around.
Me, when you get your sign, it's gonna blow your mind.
Well, that's so. It's just that easy. You just say a prayer and
it's that easy. And look, if you start getting into this place of like what I call it manic manifesting, where you're like, "Where's my sign? Where's my sign?" Then you block the message. Like it could be right there, but you won't see it because you're so aggressive about it, right? So just really ask for the sign and then let it go. Just move on with your day, move on with your life. Just trust that it's coming. Trust that guidance is around you at all times. Trust.
Do you feel as if like you are surrounded by not supernatural, but just like spirits that have passed on, or different dimensions, or how?
Yes.
How would you describe it?
Yes. So all throughout my life, I've felt physically more than audibly, but this presence of energy around me, particularly in certain situations when I'm when I'm doing my work, my primary vocation, well, it's not really my primary part of my business, but the thing that I love to do most, my art, is as a motivational speaker. And so when I'm on stage, my hands go up, it's like antennas, and it's just this, it almost, it's strange. It's as if you're holding the energy, and I can words come through, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, because when you're singing or when you're writing music or if you're doing anything creative, I'm sure this force is coming through, where words beyond my own come through me. Oh, I am given the most, it's like a directed voice that's mine, but in collaboration with this higher wisdom. The same happens when I'm writing. I look back, I've written 9 books in 11 years. And the only way that I've been able to do that has been through this divine intervention of allowing a spiritual guidance system to move through me.
To hear the entire podcast, listen and follow Kesha and the Creepies on iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.